Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dr. Com and welcome to the Storm Islands, and today we're building the harbor area, not this radio tower here, but it looks very nice. I wanted to feature it at the start of this episode because it looks very nice. So yeah, now actually into the footage, into the not so live footage. I wanted to say live footage there. Well, we start things off by building this intersection, which is established as a roundabout because roundabout generally can handle more traffic if done right, obviously. And also we're in Europe. We're in Europe, not in America like in Project 2100. So I can put in some roundabouts. The people there know how to drive on roundabouts. It was actually quite shocking for me when I went to America and there was one roundabout. We went through one single roundabout. Anyway, it's not about America in this episode here. It's about this roundabout. As I just watched an episode of Check Attack, his series called the Golden City Project, where he talked about roundabouts. And yeah, I think the roundabout that I did here is quite fitting because as he mentioned in his video, which you should definitely check out, he said that roundabouts are good at handling left turning traffic, which is certainly the case here because the most traffic will probably go left from the city to the airport, or go straight forward from the harbor to the airport, and a bit forward from the rural area to the city. So there is not really too much right turning here. Yeah, obviously there is a right turning from the rural area to the airport, but that's obvious. Yeah. You could expect that, but I think there will be more people in this road network in the main city than in the rural area, which is normally the case. And speaking about the rural areas, or actually the population in general in this project here, I think I spoke of 10,000 inhabitants of this whole map, and I think I have to correct this number a bit downwards to more like 7,000 or 6,000 people living here, because there are actually not that many people planned to live here. And yeah, but today we are not doing the main city, obviously. We are doing the harbor from the main city, of course. Or of the main city, if I could speak English. Yeah. Anyway, now I thought about what I could put into the island of this, in the middle island of this roundabout. And firstly, I thought, oh yeah, obviously I had to do some information signs like those right turning chevrons here. And yeah, I thought about putting in a fishing boat, which will be put in just a second here. Because yeah, obviously a fishing boat, because this is the heritage of this island chain. But the fishing boat was a bit too big for my liking. So yeah, this is not the final thing that I'm doing here. So yeah, I'm tearing it down and putting in just some pines or a pine and some foliage around it. I didn't actually look out for for viewpoints, or like seeing the whole roundabout. So I should not have put in a big tree in the middle. But the roundabout is quite big, so it is not. I think it's not too bad or too bad. Yeah, I don't know the word. Yeah. It's not too bad that you don't see everything. Yeah, and now I had to make quite a hard cut here. Well, it was not so hard cut because there was a transition. Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing here. There was a transition here because normally I do everything in one take here. But I couldn't do it for this one because I actually designed this harbor 3 times. And I have footage, I have like 12 hours of footage for this harbor. I ended up deleting it 2 times because I was not, I was not satisfied with the harbor, because the harbor is arguably one of the most important things here on this island, because it's an island, and harbor and the airport are the only way, are the only gates to this island chain. So yeah, I wanted to do it right, and so I ended up doing it like this. I had some inspiration for it, namely a ferry terminal on the Orkney Islands, in Puttgarden, Germany, and in Calais, in France. But I ended up freehanding it, or freestyling it a bit, because this is a very small terminal, of course, because you know, like Calais, you basically have to go through the harbor of Calais, or Dunkirk. Dunkirk? I don't know how it's pronounced. To go to ship over to England from the mainland Europe. So it's kind of important, and also Puttgarden is in the north of Germany, at the Eastern Sea, and you can travel from Germany to Denmark. It is the direct highway and train line between Berlin and Copenhagen. So it's also quite important. So yeah, I toned it down a bit here. I just made like 6 lanes or so to wait for the cars to wait in. Yeah, and I actually had to also reinvent what I wanted to do with this bridge here, because it was a bit in the way. So I decided to make it like an overpass highway, and with that came a very nice idea, in my opinion, a very nice idea, which is to, you know, if you are there's construction everywhere, or well, not everywhere, but there's often construction going around, and I figured like this ferry terminal is to get a big construction right at the end of the terminal, to accommodate maybe more people, more passengers and such. So obviously there are things having to close down, and temporary markings and everything going through the construction site. So that's something that I will maybe do in the next episode. I'm looking forward to this. I have not done a proper road construction, I should have to say. I did some construction in Project 2100 in the Fusion Reactor, which is episode number 8 or so, or 6, I don't know exactly. But I never did some proper construction, which is, yeah, those paved roads there that are going out into the nothing. They are to be assigned to a construction site. Yeah. So obviously there are those red and white barriers, and also those chevrons and traffic barrels and whatnot. But first of all, let's plop down this ferry terminal, because obviously, as I said in my last episode, which you should check out if you haven't checked it out by yet, pause this video and go look at it. Yeah, as I said in that video, I wanted to incorporate ferries into the concept here, to move around the different islands, which is something that I wanted to do here. Yeah. What can I say right now? Yeah, this intersection there is maybe a bit controversial, because obviously practically everything going to the ferry terminal, and also the big passenger ferry going out of the island, or going outside the map, has to go through this one intersection, which could pose a problem in the future. I don't know. If it becomes a problem, I will obviously go and fix that. And what I'm doing right now with this special ring road there is this will be a bus station, and yeah, I know it's called bus stop, but I like to refer to it as a bus station, you know, with a proper dedicated lane and houses, well, you know, those understands and everything. So it's more like a station than a stop. It is a terminal station for one or two bus lines going into the main passenger hub in the main city, which I will construct in a future episode. But here you see me plopping down those red and white barriers, and I think it looks, those barriers, they look very, very nice. They feel very natural. I don't know why, but they feel very natural. Natural in this kind of environment. So I put it down, and it looks really nice. And those traffic barrels, also as some chevrons, they have lights on them, and they are blinking in a particular order, which looks very nice. Obviously, if you have ever traveled a construction site in Europe, or well, at least in Switzerland where I live, there are always those orange or yellow markings on the pavement to signify where the markings are, and the white markings are also there, but you have to obey the orange markings because of the construction site. Yeah, so I put those down. The lines are a bit wonky because obviously those orange lines, they are quite long. Even the short ones are quite long. So yeah, so I had to figure it out, and yeah, it doesn't look too perfect, but it's okay for me. And now all those waiting lines for ferries, I think the ferry terminal came out to look very, very nice, in my opinion. In the end, obviously, I have to make it functional, or at least one line, the line on the far right there, or if you approach the waiting lines, the line on the far right is actually functional, and the other ones are just there for decoration and will be decorated soon. Yeah, so now I'm using the Traffic Manager President Edition, which I downloaded for this series, and man, I really love this mod. I have to say, it has become one of my favorite mods. Well, except for the Move It mod, but I think that's maybe a fan favorite. Anyway, I put down some houses in a cut that you have not seen, so just for me to know where all the cars are going. And a problem that I am having right now is that there are many passengers without cars, obviously, because this is not a car ferry. So actually I would like to incorporate some pocket cars, but I don't know how to do that, so I tried to just prohibit or restrict pedestrian walking everywhere. Yeah, and a small thing that I did just there, I tried to change the nodes of the ferry terminal, of the custom ferry terminal made by Strict Toaster. I could not do it. I wanted to place the nodes a bit nearer to the actual terminal, or you know, like the key there. So do you know of a mod that is able to do that? That can change up those nodes? I don't know how, and I've not tried it. I have not tried it out in the how's it called, in the asset editor yet, because I'm kind of worried that it won't work. Yeah. So now, as you can see here, I put down those old offices, or quote-unquote old offices. They are actually construction offices. And now this glass roof, but only glass on one side, because as I said, everything here is under construction, and the glass is not finished, or the roof is not finished yet. And yeah, I had some problems getting in or selecting the huts under the roof. It was a bit of a derp from my side, because I put it in the wrong order, so I had to delete it. So folks, always remember, firstly put in the small things and then the larger ones, because it it could be quite tricky with the Move It mod to adjust everything. Yeah, obviously some barriers, and also already those chevrons again. The blinking ones, I really like them. They have a very nice effect in real time. Obviously in the time-lapse it looks quite odd with them, with those flashing lights, but I like it. And yeah, again, those red and white construction site barriers here, or are they called curbs? No, I think they're called barriers. Actually, they don't really need to be in a construction site. I have seen them in a ferry terminal like this, like I did it here. So I think it is okay, and also with the detail that I will put in just a moment, it will also look very nice. And oh, actually something that I've completely forgotten, which I wanted to do right at the start of the video, is I wanted to do a small announcement for Project 2100. I have not forgotten the series, don't worry. Actually, I could fix I could fix the save game, and it runs again without any problems, thanks to Bloody Penguin's awesome patch to the Metro Overhaul mod. It works again, and I already built a bit on it. I still have to finish the detail and do a commentary for it, but I will gladly do it today or tomorrow. Or you know, the day after this video comes out, and I hope I can finish at the P2100 video by the end of this week, which would be very nice. I really wanted to continue work on that one. Yeah, but now coming back here to the ferry terminal, I put in those vapor street lights. I don't know why, but I feel like they're quite appropriate here. I remember a time when I was a small kid. We were out with our mobile home in where was it? In the first time in Scotland. We were 2 times in Scotland, I think. No, yeah, 2 times. I forget where I was on my vacations. Yeah. Anyway, when we were in Scotland, we went to the Orkney Islands, and we were there in the late at night on the ferry terminal, and everything was in this orange light, and it was very bright there because there are some you don't want to have thieves or robberies taking place with standing vehicles there, so everything is lit up there, and it looked very familiar. So that's why this is probably the brightest area of the map. I don't plan to do too much lighting because I really like ambient lighting and everything. So I want to incorporate things like different lighting, shades of lighting, and also you know what I mean, different effects of lighting. So I put down those orange lights just to get that feeling in, you know, like it is dark and it is in the middle of the night, but it is very lit up and bright in this area. Yeah, so now some final inspections. After that we will we will do this. I wondered what I could do with this bridge here, and I figured it won't be too realistic to have a bridge going over land like this in Europe, at least. So I did put down those retaining walls that were recently put up on the workshop. I had to adjust them quite a bit because of the shadows in the darkness there. Obviously they don't really block the sunlight perfectly because they're props, and because this is City Skylines and not a sunlight simulator. So yeah, I put down these things to simulate like a socket for the road to go over, and I think it came out looking very nice. I didn't put in much detail. I mean, it's just a wall, a brick wall there. But I think it came out looking very nice, and I don't think it is featured prominently in the closing scenes, in the, you know, like in the cinematics at the end of this video, which I always do. If you have not noticed, I always do cinematics. Maybe 1 or 2 videos I haven't, but anyway, now obviously the other part has to be made like this too, and I actually have a nice trick to feature this. Maybe I will do a small video. I thought about doing some videos with, with tips and tricks, but maybe with a better name, because every other video is called tips and tricks about X, about Y, about C. Anyway, so I plan to do, like a small video series with, like 1 or 2 minute long videos where I just quickly explain something that I do, and maybe give you some ideas on how to, or techniques to give you some techniques to do different things. Yeah, and I tried to put in some houses on the other side of this ramp here, but then I figured let's not do that, and let's just pull up the terrain up to there, and yeah, it looks quite okay. I also deleted this boss thing here, because I had a better idea for the place there, which I will do also in just a couple of minutes. And then now we're doing, I think we're doing the boss stop now. If you have not noticed by now, I'm jumping back and forth quite a bit. I have to do the decal work on the ferry terminal, and I have to build this here. Yeah, I'm jumping back and forth quite a bit, because obviously, as I said, I had many different recordings, and I also did like five different cuts, 5 different scenes everywhere. Yeah, but now the bus stop, I don't know if this is a common thing in Sweden and Norway, where I want to base this map from, but I've seen it in Switzerland and Germany, those zigzag lines where a bus stop is, and I think this is a very nice detail, and I try to incorporate this detail everywhere in my map, make it a standard here. Yeah. And if you want to know why I made a bus there, obviously because I wanted to know where he would stop and such, so that I could put in the lines. So yeah, and now some more Traffic Manager President Edition work here. I really love this mod. It is like Traffic++, but much better, much nicer, and it allows for much more, but for many more options. Yeah, but I think that's enough. That's enough advertisement for the Traffic Manager President Edition. If you want to download it, you can go to the Steam Workshop, or if you can go through the link in my description to my collection page, which I will quickly update after I have made this commentary. So I hope I can remind myself of that. It will be literally in 10 minutes or so. So I hope I won't forget it. Yeah. I didn't actually know exactly with what I wanted to fill those grey spaces there, so I just put down some garages, and how's it called? Fuel station? I don't know. Yeah, it is the city fuel supply, recently featured in Strictoster's video from Zeno, which is a very nice series, and it was the only asset that I had, the only gas station asset that I had, which would fit in this location, so I put it down. Of course, this is not really a supply for a city, because we don't have a city, we have a better village. or maybe in the US this is maybe even called a small village with 5,000 inhabitants in the main village, maybe. Yeah. Putting down some more vanilla cars, because obviously those parking spots won't be used by the moving cars, or the agent cars, how I like to refer to them. If you haven't known this, this is actually a fun fact. The agent, you maybe have heard of the City Skylines agents before. Those are basically objects within the program. If you don't know what an object is basically a subroutine. If you don't know what a subroutine is, Anyway, it is like a small part of the program which is devised to do something, and if it is assigned to do something, it will do it. It is sometimes it is assigned to be an ambulance, and then it will be an ambulance and do it and make the pathfinding and everything outside the main program, so that the main program doesn't have to bother with that. Yeah, this is what an agent is, and there is a limit to agents because objects in a program, or at least from my understanding with Java, I have programmed this a bit, but not really that good. Yeah, from my understanding in Java, it is, at least in Java, it is like you have to decide how many objects, or agents in this case, you want to do in before you start the program. So obviously you have a limit to how many you have. I don't know the limit of agents that City Skylines has, but you basically have to define, like, I want to have 20 agents or 200 or 2000. So if you have a big city, it could be that there are not enough agents for everything. So like there are not enough agents for ambulances or police cars or something, and it could be quite difficult to put out the fire if there is no agent left to use the fire vehicle, so, or the fire truck. So that's a bit of a problem, obviously. Yeah. Now I also a small trick. If you want to make a harbor, you have to put in shallow water. Or make the water quite shallow for boats, because the more depth there is in the water, the higher the waves are in City Skylines. I know it doesn't really make too much sense. Well, it makes a bit sense, but in IRL there it will be this thing will maybe be negated after about 3 meters and not after 10 meters of water, or depth of water. But anyway. It is City Skylines after all, you know. Realism is not everything, not always the case here. Yeah, and the thing here, what I want to do here is I want to make some abandoned things here. The warehouse won't be abandoned. It will be like a package acceptance place where you can deliver goods to, and local shops can take it from there. But the thing between this alleyway between the water and the warehouse, and also a parking lot here, will be quite a bit roughed up, because for once I really like doing it. I can obviously not do it in Project 2100, because Project 2100 is a city built within 1 day, basically. So there won't be any old things there, just new things. And yeah, I wanted to do some rough things, because this also fits into the theme of, you know, the clash between old and new with the construction going on. And this to be, or soon to be, renovated and be made into a proper parking lot again. But for now it is not really the best parking lot you can have, because it's a bit overgrown and everything, and it is not secure. But well, on the matter of security, just one small thing. I didn't plan to speak about this. Matter of security, we're here in a remote island chain of about 7,000 people, so I don't think there won't be many crimes here, because you can't really flee the island unless, you know, there are quite some restrictions regarding possible safe spaces here. The police could basically just search the whole island and find you there. But yeah, that's also why there are quite a few goods out here in the open, because yeah, they don't really need to be or to be wary of of thefts or so. Yeah, and I tried to place down this harbor sign, but it didn't really fit. And what else does not fit into this episode is me talking about random topics for another 30 minutes. So I hope you have liked this video. There will be some cinematics at the end. And as I'm detailing the last things here in this part here, we will approach the end. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.